Thank you, Jamie. You see Cameron Dicker there getting ready. And DJ, new kickoff rules. There's a lot, so why don't you walk us through it?
Yeah, there's a lot to get to here. Look, the kicks are now going to take place at the 35-yard line with the kickoff team at the opposing 40. They're trying to limit that distance between the two. You look at the returners, they're going to be located between their 20 and the goal line. That's the new phrase right there, landing zone. Get used to that in your football lexicon. That's what you're going to be hearing a lot throughout the season. Any kick landing in that zone, it must be returned. If you kick it out of the end zone, the ball now is going to go to the 30-yard line. That's the tip of the iceberg of this. There's a lot of issues, a lot of permeations of this rule. We're going to see it not only today but throughout the season, Dan.
Yeah, and you talk to the special team coaches around the league, and they all just shrug their shoulders and say, well, we'll see. And as you said, Daniel, you're going to see different type of kickoffs throughout the preseason until they can really hone in on it and figure it out.
You see Jim Harbaugh there, his special teams coach, Ryan Ficken, considered one of the best in the league, and special teams coach for Seattle, his son, Jay Harbaugh, as a matter of fact. So the Seahawks win the toss, they defer, and they will kick off, and we'll see. As you see Mike McDonald, 37 years old, a longtime assistant in Baltimore, now the head coach of the Seahawks. But as I mentioned, the Seahawks win, they defer, so they will kick off. Chargers will receive, and you'll see these two returners in that landing zone between the goal line and the 20.
You're going to see a lot of sports bars popping up with the name landing zone here in the next few years.
There you go.
It's Elijah Dotson, the running back, joined by Jalen Gill, the wide receiver. Now, no one can move until the ball is received. So while you'll see the kicker booted away from his 35, everyone else, they can kind of load up. They just cannot lift their feet. That's the toughest thing to get used to here. Ball is away. It is low. It is received at the 3 by Gill. And he's got some blocks. Gill, right sideline, tripped up by Myers, just shy of midfield, a 44-yard return.
I think we're going to see a lot more of that, and coaches are going to try and figure out we've got to get good blockers on that return team. So not necessarily your wide receivers or your running backs. You're going to see some offensive linemen and some linebackers here on the kickoff returns, I think.
Easton Stick will get the start out of North Dakota State, a champion at North Dakota State. How about a 49-3 record there?
How about the big guy, Jordan McFadden at fullback, number 71.
Offensive lineman out of Clemson, lined up as the fullback. And the first handoff to get us started in a Greg Roman offense, DJ.
I tell you what, Jordan McFadden got his money's worth on his first rep there at fullback.
All right, it's time now for Players to Watch, brought to you by Paramount Plus, your home to stream the NFL on CBS every Sunday all season long, coming off that 3-yard gain. And it's the offensive line. Joe Alt, the rookie, number 5 overall pick. The All-Pro his rookie year, Rashawn Slater. And we are excited about the 7th-round wide receiver out of USC, Brendan Rice. Offset eye, McFadden out there again, that offensive line. And again, they'll run it. This time they'll run it with Patterson. And that'll bring up, Dan, a very manageable 3rd and 3.
Yeah, it's 3 yards in a cloud of AstroTurf pellets, yeah. Not your cloud of dust. But a good job by McFadden. He gets his 2 plays in right away.
Anybody that's followed Jim Harbaugh is not surprised to see an extra offensive lineman on their first 2 plays and come out and try and be a physical football team.
McFadden, think about that Patrick Ricard role in Baltimore. That giant fullback that is the rookie Brendan Rice in motion. And Stick looking for Chark. That is incomplete. And it'll be a 3-and-out for the Bulls.
That's one of the challenges with this Seattle defense, Dan, has got really good corner play. That's Reek Woolen, number 27. They're very physical on Chark.
A good throw by Stick, though. It's out in front. Ball should have been caught. Quarterback speaking there, of course.
Think about that rookie campaign that Reek Woolen had. Drafted in the 5th round, led the league with interceptions. So J.K. Scott going to try to pin the Seahawks D. Fair catch signaled for at the 12. 37-yard punt, no return, and that is something J.K. Scott did last year. 31 fair catches. That was 2nd in the NFL. Sam Howell comes out, acquired in a trade by Seattle in the offseason. his third year out of North Carolina. Last year, 63% completion rate, just under 4,000 yards. Even up, DJ, on interceptions and touchdowns, 21 apiece.
Yeah, he's got a live arm, and he can move around and make some plays with his legs. He's really tough. That's his greatest trait he had coming out of college, and that's what he's got to carry forward.
Now, they may not be listed as starters here, but they would be on almost any other team in the NFL. Tuli Tuipulotu and Bud Dupree as your edges. And Seattle starts off with a run, and there's Morgan Fox in the backfield. Players to watch, again, brought to you by Paramount Plus, your home to stream the NFL on CBS every Sunday, all season long. Defensively, Dan, we're keeping an eye on Chris Hinton, the big man in the middle. Tremont Morris-Brash at the edges, and those two safeties, Finley and Woods.
Yeah, Chris Hinton, the son of the great offensive lineman, Chris Hinton, Sr., and he has had very impressive training camp so far.
We're looking for guys that are strong and stout in there on the inside, and he's one of them.
Putting a Ford in there right now with Morgan Fox. So a little play action, underneath toss, and that is sniffed out immediately and dropped at the 16 after a gain of 3 is Pharaoh Brown out of Oregon.
Well, the Chargers brought a safety from the slot, and it was a quick read there by Howell, but even a better reaction that time by Fulton, who has had a pretty good camp too, coming over from Tennessee, where he started 11 games, but let's bring up a very difficult at times, third and medium.
You see Ja Taylor out there. He appears to have locked down that starting nickel corner role, number 36. And on a 36. And that is caught for a first down. Derek Young, third-year player out of Lenore-Rhyne.
Saw Jasir Taylor come off the edge from depth on that last play. You're already getting a glimpse of this scheme, this Jesse Mentor scheme, Dan. They're going to try and send guys from different areas and different locations. That time, the Seahawks did a nice job of picking him up.
And it looked like they're playing zone behind that blitz, and good job by Young to find that void in the defense.
See number 0 there, linebacker level, Deion Henley moving. No Perriman, it's Troy Dye out there at linebacker. Howe, quick out, and popped away. As if on cue, Deion Henley with the pass breakup there. The keys to the game sponsored by your Southern California Audi dealers. Visit your local Audi dealer to experience Audi's full lineup of electric vehicles. And Dan, you sat with Coach Harbaugh earlier in the week, and he talked about what it's all about as far as he is concerned, his coaching philosophy.
Yeah, play hard, high energy, don't worry about mistakes, just execute. And then it's not the Three Stooges, Mose. It's
margin of error. Limit that, and you'll find yourself on the field. This little edge run. And coming from behind to make that tackle is Troy Dye. Along with Tuipulotu. What a rookie season he had last year, DJ.
Boy, we get a chance to see him on the field with Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa. It wasn't often, but when the three of them were healthy out there together, it was as dynamic a trio, a pass rush trio, as we have in the NFL.
Well, #1 draft pick last year, and he's really paid off.
I think it was 44 snaps they played together, and they had 10 sacks.
Is that
Mack,
good?
Bosa,
that feels good.
I like that ratio. Yeah.
So here we go. This is a 3rd and 5. Chargers rush 4. Howell under pressure, tipped up in the air, and it'll sail out of bounds, incomplete. And the defense gets off the field. It was Tremont Morris-Brash and Bud Dupree.
Yeah, it looked like Bud Dupree got a clean win. He's up at the top. He does a nice job of getting home from the backside there. And that's someone who's a power rusher. That's his bread and butter, but also excellent with his hands.
And Morris-Brash, Dan, who got his hand on that arm to knock it incomplete, somebody that they are very excited about, the rookie out of Central Florida.
I'm surprised the ball carried all the way to the sideline and out of bounds. That could have been a pick 6.
It'll be Gill set to return the punt. Michael Dixon, one of the best in the business. Returnable, fielded at the 20. And after a spin, shoved out of bounds left sideline. 49-yard punt and a 4-yard return. Each team has had a series, and we got football back. 0-0 here between the Chargers and Seahawks. Scoreless with Seattle here at SoFi. 0-0 early on, each team with an offensive possession. Rookie Spotlight presented by UCLA Health, keeping you on top of your game. And today we spotlight Chargers first-round pick Joe Alt. EJ, you're the master of the draft. Thoughts on Joe Alt as that #1 pick?
His dad played in the NFL for a long time. You see it there, a 2-time Pro Bowler. He is enormous. Start there. Played on the left side at Notre Dame. He's kicked over to the right side, and by all accounts, and from what I saw at practice, has made a very smooth transition, making it look easier than it really is.
He looks like he's a right-hander too, so that should benefit him as well.
No question.
He's got Will Dissly to his right, signed in the offseason. And Stick with the play action rolling. Remember, he can use his legs. Instead, looks downfield, and they say no, out of bounds. Could not control it on his way out. Tipped up in the air, though. A little bit of a dangerous throw there, Dan.
Yeah, Reek rolling, Dan. I thought he was coming down with that one.
Yeah, it looked like he might even have tipped it. Takes a long time for Stick to find him, but watch. Yep, that ball should have been intercepted.
I mentioned Easton Stick at North Dakota State, a 4-time FCS champion. They love him here in Los Angeles. Helps out Herbert in the room. Great on the sideline during games. Just trying to get that execution right when it comes to the whistle and doing it in the game. A little pistol formation. Patterson is stuffed, and Dan, a lot at stake for Stick here with the injury to Justin Herbert.
Well, everybody loves a backup quarterback until he has to play. And what happens sometimes, I know that's not a fair statement, but he had a rough go last year. Started 4 games, lost all 4 of them, as the Chargers just faded at the end of the year, especially after the injury to Herbert. But this is a huge training camp and preseason for this man, Easton Stick.
3 and out on his first series. Now facing a 3rd and 10. Rookie Brendan Rice is the one wide of the numbers right. Has time and can't find DJ Chark. So back-to-back 3 and outs for Easton Stick. It was Chenna Nwosu, old friend alert, that had the pressure.
Yeah, he was working against the rookie first-rounder Alt and just hit him with power. Got right into his chest, and Easton didn't really feel that to get away from it, Dan, to kind of pull back away from that roll rush.
And because of the contact to his arm, wasn't able to follow through, so the ball just kind of fluttered out there, had no zip on it because of the contact.
J.K. Scott to punt it away for the 2nd time. And this looks returnable. A short kick. No, fair catch signaled for at the 30. 43-yard punt. No return. So back-to-back 3 and outs for Easton Stick. See if the defense can lift the O up again. 0-0 here in L.A. between the Chargers and Seahawks. .0 here at SoFi between the Chargers and Seahawks. Chargers game day is best shared with others, so gather your friends, family, and co-workers together and unlock special group pricing on single game tickets. Visit chargers.com/groups to secure your seats while supplies last. Defense back on the field, forced the punt the first time around. There's Jesse Minter, defensive coordinator, 41 years old. Coordinated the defense for the national champions, University of Michigan. Spent a lot of time with John Harbaugh in Baltimore, defensive backs coach. And now he is here coordinating this group. Back out on the field too, Bud Dupree. I should say Tuli Tuipulotu and Chris Rumpf are your edges. Sam Howell stays in at quarterback. Hands off. And that is Kenny McIntosh with a gain of 5. Another look here, Dan, at Jesse Minter and what he brings to the table.
Well, we talked to him the other day, and he wants his defense to control the running game, then limit those explosive plays, and then affect the quarterback. We've already seen the defense get in on Sam Howell, but it's the physical side of the game. Tackling has to be physical.
You see the interior. Mentioned 91 Chris Hinton, but they expect big things out of Tito Abonia to UCLA, the other defensive tackle. Here's another handoff to McIntosh. They like him a lot. He breaks through the line, and Deion Henley has to clean it up from behind at that 48-yard line. That is a gain of 13 and a first down Seattle as they have a chance to flip the field now.
Tony Jefferson, the safety, number 22, he just got taken out by Jackson Smith and Jigma, number 11. He just rode him right out of the hole.
That's back-to-back solid running plays, one right, one left for the Seahawks.
McIntosh will stay in the backfield. Take the handoff again, and this time I think Rumpf going to end up getting that offensive lineman for a hold, and that's exactly what it is.
Holding, offense number 86, 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
Got to get him off schedule, DJ. Pharaoh Brown there. So 1st and 20 coming up.
And that was JT Woods on that long run, by the way, wearing 22. It was a big camp for him as he's competing for that 3rd safety position. And one of the question marks, Dan, is how he's going to tackle. And so in a part of tackling, you got to get off blocks against wide receivers.
Yeah, rarely will you see a wide receiver make a definitive block on a defensive back. You got to play a little bit of matador there, or just be more physical, as you said, DJ.
So Rumpf draws the holding call. Now a 1st and 20. Howell to throw. And takes the safe throw underneath. That's to Holani. He'll pick up 5. 2nd and 15. Tui Pelotu in pursuit there.
You got a feel for Sam Howell, and last year he started 17 games for the Commanders, and the worst offensive line in the NFL. He was sacked over 60 times and lived to tell about it.
Yeah, you put your stats together. When you look down and you see 65 sacks, you got to rub your eyes and make sure you didn't miss something. And here comes pressure, throws underneath and waiting for it. Still holding on to that jersey was Scott Matlock, the 2nd-year player out of Boise State. It's a gain. It's a loss of 4. Tito Abonia blowing through that line as well. Nice play.
Great play and real strong hands here to grab the jersey and not let go until his teammates can come and rally and make the tackle.
That's a durable fabric right there. That's a very durable fabric.
That's not the old tearaways, huh? That Earl Campbell used to wear.
That's that interior line we're talking about. It is a wide open battle for those positions. Matlock and Tito out there right now making that play. And we got a 3rd and 18. Here comes Tuli and cannot wrap Howell up. He's going to run. Troy Dye in pursuit, able to take him down. Shy of the original line of scrimmage. It's a gain of 6. Just shy of midfield. And see what Mike McDonald wants to do. Out comes Michael Dixon to punt it away.
You expect defenses to be ahead of the offense, especially when you have 2 new head coaches.
It used to be back in the day, Dan, you'd see vanilla defense, and now I feel like we see vanilla offense. I've seen defense, I've seen corners, I've seen safeties blitzing.
These offenses we're seeing today are more like tapioca.
So Gill set up at his own 10 here. Return the last one, and he's going to act as though he's going to return this one, and it's going to work out for Dixon. Easton Stick going to be backed all the way up to his 1-yard line. 52-yard punt, no return. See if Stick can get something going when we return. 0-0 Charger Seahawks at SoFi. TV Peninsula through Santa Monica. And now we're going to get our first look here as we go from the ankle slapping waves to the 1-yard line. Quentin Johnson out there and Isaiah Spillering now at running back. And off to Spiller, hit at the goal line, and they'll say he just got out. He lost yardage, about a half yard.
Yeah, he got the ball out across the goal line. The rest of his body was in the end zone, but it's where the ball is that counts.
McFadden's got to come off and get a piece of that linebacker. He's got to climb up to that linebacker. He just missed him, went right by him, and almost resulted in a safety.
No Bradley Bozeman starting center today. Instead, it is Brandon Hymas. McFadden at guard. And Stick with play action. Throws out of the end zone. And right sideline, the tight end, Luke Benson with the catch. Gives him a little bit of breathing room out to the 6. Comfort Zone, sponsored by Jerome's Furniture. Your comfort zone for quality and style. Justin Herbert comfortable under pressure in his first 4 seasons. You see the numbers here. First in both completions and yards under pressure. Tied for 2nd with Patrick Mahomes in touchdowns, 114. Say first or second, pretty good.
Aren't quarterbacks under pressure every snap? He's awesome.
Let's see if Stick can convert this 3rd down. Again underneath. Again Patterson. And while he's fighting for yards, needed 5, only got 3. So back to back to back 3 and outs for Easton Stick, and certainly not what this coaching staff, DJ and Greg Roman, wanted to see from Easton.
Well, it's conservative. I mean, this is a conservative approach. It's not on the quarterback. When you call a screen, you don't get the yards. There's nothing he can do. I wish they would let him play a little more quarterback, Dan. Let him get back there in a big 3rd down against a bunch of starters and see if he can move the football.
Well, it all goes back to not catching that punt, letting it roll all the way down to the 2-yard line.
Scott from his own end zone. Wow. And gets some leg into this. Winston Jr. signals for the fair catch, and well done by J.K. Scott. 49-yard punt, no return. Back to the Bolts defense when we return 0-0 here in L.A. Well, come for the defense, stay for the punts. Early on, 0-0 between the Chargers and Seahawks. Multiple single-game options to accommodate every occasion. A Chargers luxury suite at SoFi Stadium is one of the best premium offerings in all of Los Angeles sports and entertainment. Visit ChargersSuites.com for more information. Let's talk about defense tends to have the advantage early on, but you hit it on the head, Dan and DJ. It's just, you look at the way the play calling has been. Not a lot out there for these quarterbacks. Try to pick up some yards. McIntosh in the backfield, pistol with Sam Howell. And he's run the ball well, but there we go. A little bit of a thud just past the line of scrimmage. Gain of just 2. That's Dean Leonard, 3rd-year corner out of Ole Miss.
Watch the shot by Henley right there as he sets it up, goes down low, and gets help up high. And no gain. 1 yard maybe.
Last year, 2 of the better special teams players on this Chargers roster now maybe pressed into defensive duties this year. Smith and Jigba in motion there. And Howell throws outside the numbers to Smith and Jigba. He's got the first down, or just shy of it. They'll say he's about a half-yard shy, so it'll be a 3rd and short.
A good sharp route here. Ball on time, on target. Brings up a short 3rd and short. But that was a best pass of the day we've seen.
Yeah, he's got a live arm. You can see it. It jumps out of his hand.
Rumpf and Morris Brashear edge rushers. McIntosh has the first down. Henley drops him, but not before he picks up 4. Called 3.5. And into the plus side of the field are the Seahawks. It's not happened for the Chargers yet.
You always got to be alert, even in a preseason game. You just crossed the 50-yard line here. Play callers like to take their shots, and won't be surprised you see them try and go up top, Dan. They've been setting this up. Maybe this whole game's been setting up for a few shots here.
I'm all for a shot. Or 2.
Play action. Here comes Tooley. He's got him. And Howell escapes, able to throw it away. But what a rush by Tooley. He is not happy with the official. Talking to Sean Smith there.
Well, he didn't get him down. He spun him around. It looked like he was going to really watch 45. Tui Pelotu.
Oh, that's a face mask.
No question.
And that's one of the 15-yard variety. Bent his head backwards. That's why Tooley was so upset.
Chargers did a nice job in coverage, though. They were setting up a deep post down the field to Smith and Jigba, and they had him double covered.
Tooley and Ty Shelby are your edges on this 2nd and 10. Howell all kinds of time. Shot downfield. Incomplete. Intended for Jake Bobo. A.J. Finley in coverage.
You called it, Daniel.
Well, I think that at some point in time, play callers get sick of seeing 2- and 3-yard gains and trying to get a big chunk, but a nice job of really staying in position there by Finley. He's on the inside as the safety. Really nowhere to go with that ball when you've got him bracketed so well with Hankins and Finley.
Hankins, 3rd-year player out of Iowa. So here we go, another 3rd down. A 3rd and 10.
Howell can run too, so you always got to be on the lookout for that.
Tooley coming again. Howell, well, you called it, DJ. He can use his legs. He's got the first down, left sideline, just shy of the 30, out of bounds at the 33. Gain of 13 and another first down for the Seahawks.
You know, good pressure from the outside pass rushers, but look at the hole. There's no coordination there inside with the defensive tackles. You saw Hinton getting messed up with his own teammate there. Opened up a huge void, that D-line.
This season, Howell with 5 rushing touchdowns. 2 tight ends, both in motion. Mabry and Brown. Now the throw again, quick out. Smith and Jigba covered by Dean Leonard. A gain of 5. Certainly in field goal range now for Jason Myers in his 10th season out of Marist.
I think there was some scar tissue, Dan, from that offensive line he played behind in Washington last year, that now, after getting hit a couple times, Howell's like, you know what, I'm going to speed up the clock a little bit here. I'm going to get out and run. I'm going to get the ball out of my hands quickly. I'm not sitting back here forever.
No, you do get tired of getting hit. There's no question. He's got a hot hand right now.
Coming up at the end of the first quarter here with zeros. Howell, middle of the field, using those legs. He'll just throw it away. So we'll get at least one more play. Clock stops. And 10 seconds left in the period. 18 seconds, I should say, left in the period.
These are great reps, though. You look at a guy like Deion Henley out there, who's got a chance to be the starter this year, a young player, getting these third down reps, the communication, being able to identify formations, put yourself and your teammates in the right spot. Even though it's preseason, Dan, there's a lot of value in these reps.
Yeah, once you put the pads on and you're playing, even if it's a preseason game, the speed, anticipation, all those things ramp up.
Now drops back and on the run as a man. It's Hankins, but not before Jake Bobo able to pick up the first down, and that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. So Seahawks on the move. They'll have a new set of downs.
This is the end of the first quarter.
0-0, but Seahawks sniffing the red zone. Chargers hosting Seattle. Defense trying to bend, not break when we return. .0 as it stands right now, started the second quarter, but Seattle with a 1st and 10 from the Charger 19. The right call is brought to you by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Chargers. Chargers made the right call, bringing in Jim Harbaugh, just won the national championship at Michigan. And of course, his time with the 49ers, 3 straight NFC championship games and a trip to Super Bowl 47. Defense trying to limit the Seahawks to a field goal. Holani in the backfield. And on the sweep, handoff, and cleaned up by Troy Dye. That'll be a gain of 5. Back to Harbaugh, Dan and DJ, and coming off that national championship, and all he's done is experience success no matter where he goes, Dan.
You know, and the word quirky always is kind of associated with him, but I think quirky is okay because it kind of gets guys a little bit on edge. I played for a very quirky coach, a Hall of Famer, Don Coryell, and you know, he was a little bit strange at times, but very successful, as is Jim Harbaugh.
So 2nd and 5 for the Seahawks here. Hand off to McIntosh, and waiting for him on the edge was Ja Taylor. He'll pick up 1, and he'll bring up a 3rd down.
Did Coryell throw some gloves on and then get out there and catch some of your passes in the warm-ups, Dan?
No, he dodged most of them, but the thing is, what we're not seeing is he's wearing his football cleats.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Wears them at practice. He's got the gloves on to catch the ball.
That goes back to Bo Schembechler, that era there at Michigan. His really coaching mentor.
Yep, no question about that. Great coach, Bo Schembechler. Great name.
Seahawks are 4 of 6 on 3rd down. Howell, all kinds of time, and underneath, found his man into the end zone. Touchdown Seahawks. It's Brady Russell, the second-year tight end out of Colorado. 13-yard strike.
Nick Neiman just missed the tackle. I mean, Nick Neiman makes that tackle, and you line up and play another down. But that's something you got to get ironed out. You got to work through the preseason. It was an issue for this team last year, Dan, with some of the tackling issues.
Check out his knee. Does the ball cross the plane? Apparently so. Great effort by Brady Russell, a fourth-team tight end for the Seahawks.
Plucked him off the Philadelphia practice squad last year. So we got offense here in the second quarter. And Myers' extra point is through. That, of course, means we get to see some new kickoff returns when we return. New rules in place. 7-0 Seahawks over the Chargers. Sam Howell to Brady Russell on a 12-play, 59-yard drive for 13 yards and the touchdown. 7-0 Seattle. Let's get down to the sideline and Jamie Maggio.
All right, guys. Well, I'm here with Khalil Mack. Khalil, it's great to have you back with the Chargers this season. A lot of changes heading into this year. Obviously, new head coach, new defensive coordinator. How does their style complement your style?
I feel like they football guys, so and I'm a football guy, so it's always going to work out and be complimentary. And you can just tell Coach Harbaugh loves the game, and I love the game, and I love to be around people that love the game as well.
Khalil, you're coming off such a great season last year. How does a veteran like yourself prepare in the offseason coming into a new one?
You got to prepare. You got to prepare to try to be the best. Try to be the best in the league. And not only that, try to bring others along with you, whether it's my teammates, whether it's coaches talking through things, or whatever the case may be. Just trying to be the best teammate and player I could be.
You guys have a beautiful new practice facility there in El Segundo, the Bolt. Features a ping pong table. How's that keeping you ready for the season?
Oh, man, the competition.
Wait, why are you laughing?
Because I got a guy next to me that's been beating everybody so far. But, yeah, Cameron Dick have been beating everybody so far. But Thule and Joey, everybody getting into it. And so it's fun to have the competitive juices flowing in the building.
Talking about competitive juices, how's the defense looking so far through training camp?
Oh, man, we look pretty good, man. We got guys flying around, young guys stepping up with Dayon Henleys and the Thules and all the young guys like a Scott Matt Locke. I'm hoping Chris will get a sack sometime soon throughout this game. But, yeah, just it's fun to see, man, and bringing a lot of energy. And hopefully nothing bad happens.
All right, guys, back to you. Thanks, Khalil.
Appreciate Khalil, and unfortunately, it's a tip pass off the hands of Hayden Hurst into the hands of Kobe Bryant, the third-year defensive back out of Cincinnati. Does not have a career interception in the regular season, but he gets one here, Dan, in the exhibition portion.
Yeah, you throw a pass like that, you got to send a get well card tomorrow. That was a very dangerous hit there. And throwing into a crowd over the middle. Look at all the Seahawks close on that. There's the tip ball and the pick.
Kayvon Wallace is the one who delivered the big hit on Hayden Hurst.
He stayed down there for a second. Inauspicious start for Easton Stick. 3 and outs and a pick on a first down. So Seattle, after scoring that last possession, right back in business in Chargers territory. And that is McIntosh, who has been lively every time he touches the ball. That's a gain of 5. Kenny McIntosh in his second season out of Georgia, drafted by Seattle in the 7th round 2 years ago.
Tell you what, I know you've got extra bodies here, Dan, but man, you're testing the fitness of your defense here. A lot of reps early on in this ball game.
Yeah, and then Seattle has had great field position in the last 2 possessions. Remember, the Chargers squandered their great field position to start the game, where they're all the way out to midfield. Didn't do anything with it.
Chargers bring pressure, and able to slow down McIntosh in the backfield is Scott Matlock. That's a gain of 1. Cleaned up by Nick Neiman.
Curious how much Jesse Minter is going to hold back defensively, because on a lot of these pressures, they're they're showing it early. It's not as much disguise as you'll see once the regulars are out there, and you'll see a little bit better disguise and see if they can get some clean run-throughs. But they've pretty much been lining up and coming if they get up there at the line of scrimmage.
That's one thing he said, DJ. You know, those simulated pressures is what they call it. One of his points of emphasis is affect the QB, affect his eyes, his thought process. Here they rush 4, and Howe has a wide open man in the flat. It's McIntosh. And he's going to be stood up right at the line to gain. McNeeman there and on the tackle.
And he got just enough to pick up the first down. So you got to be impressed with McIntosh so far. Remember, playing at Georgia where he won 2 national titles, he looks very polished.
C.D. Leonard in there as well. A.J. Finley. By the way, safety snaps prior to this series. Talk about that third safety position. Finley 21, Woods 17, Tony Jefferson just 2. And now Holani going to get it. He'll bounce it outside. Where's that flag for the hold? It does not come, and it's a touchdown.
Yeah, I think the tight end, 85 Tyler Mabry, might have got away with one on that one. Holding on the edge, and nothing you can do on that one. If they're not going to call that, there's nothing you can do.
Get another look at it here.
It's a double team, and there's the grab right around the chest there, and that was enough to get the corner, get the end zone.
Morris Brash complaining, but no flag. So Seattle 13 on back-to-back possessions. Myers in to make it 14-0. Looks like Max Duggan has his helmet on the sideline. Extra point no good, pushed it right. Last season Myers was perfect on his extra points, 33 of 33. So Easton Stick, back-to-back 3 and outs and then an interception. Seattle capitalizes. They lead 13-0 here in the second quarter at SoFi Stadium. This broadcast brought to you in part by your Southern California Audi dealers. Visit your Southern California Audi dealer to experience Audi's full lineup of electric vehicles. 13-0 after the missed extra point, following the touchdown by George Holani for the Seahawks all over the Chargers. And it has been a rough outing for Easton Stick thus far. 4 drives, just 10 plays, and coaches said they wanted him to get between 20 and 30 plays. This one fielded at the 1 by Gill. And tries to hurdle the defender, gets out to the 26-yard line, but not the start, make it the 28, and that I'm sure the coaches had hoped to see from Easton Stick.
Yeah, he's really hasn't been under that bad of pressure, but the emphasis is to run the ball with a power running attack. That has not materialized yet either.
To see him get him an easy completion here. Let's get Brendan Rice going, get him a little quick hitch or a quick hitter, and just kind of get his blood flowing a little bit here for Easton Stick.
See Quentin Johnson out there, wide of the numbers right. And there's a handoff to Spiller, and nowhere to go. It's a gain of 1. It'll be 2nd and 9. Joe Alt's still out there on that offensive line. Rest of the starters looks as though their afternoon/evening is done.
They're getting right back on the ball with a little urgency here on this drive.
Tempo. Spiller in the backfield. Brendan Rice one-on-one to the right. And it's a handoff to Spiller again, and he goes nowhere. Absolutely stuffed by the rookie Byron Murphy. Their first-round pick out of Texas, DJ.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's a very disruptive, penetrating defensive tackle out of Texas, and someone a lot of teams had their eyes on, their sights on, and he's going to be a nice fit there in that Seattle defense.
But the second defensive player drafted. Huh?
Yeah, we waited a while for the defensive guys to go this year. The offensive guys kind of stole the show.
See Greg Roman, offensive coordinator there, helped Lamar Jackson to an MVP in his second season. Just trying to find a first down here. They do not have one yet in this game. Stick rolling to his left, under pressure again, hit as he throws, and that ball's going to squib out of bounds. Pressure from Boye Mafe in his 3rd season out of Minnesota, and that's something he does. 6 passes defensed in his career. Tips him a lot at the line of scrimmage. That time got the arm.
That was a late blitz that time. It was initially just a 3-man pass rush. That forced Stick out of the backfield. And then trying to throw running left is never a good idea for right-hander.
Now we're at the 9:45 mark of the second quarter, and this is already the 4th punt for J.K. Scott. It's going to be busy tonight. D. Eskridge back for Seattle. A lot of leg into this one, and Eskridge wants to return it. Sideline acts as a defender. Nice coverage by the Chargers. It's a 48-yard punt and just a 2-yard return as Thomas Harper makes the tackle for the Bolts. Well, Easton Stick is struggling. See if he gets another series, but the defense will be on the field when we return. Well, you see the Chargers getting shut out there, 13-0 at the hands of the Seahawks. Also 0 in the first down column. Best defense brought to you by Jacoby and Myers, because you deserve justice. Bolts defense not on the field here this afternoon, but man, you want to talk about a triumvirate. Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, Derwin James. Bosa with those 67 sacks. Mack just surpassed the century mark this past season after a 17-sack campaign in 2023. That's the most among active players. And of course, Derwin James, the do-everything safety. 400 tackles already. There's Khalil Mack. Talked to Jamie Maggio a little bit earlier. Sam Howell stays in the game. Hands off to McIntosh. And he's able to spin off first contact before Hinton can track him down for the tackle, but he picks up 7.
Yeah, you go back to those 400 tackles by Derwin James. It's not always a good sign that your safety is making all those tackles, but he plays all over the place, so he's going to get more opportunities. What the Chargers need is for the guys up front in the middle, the defensive tackles, to take away a lot of those tackle opportunities for James.
See Derwin there on the sideline. That's the afternoon off. Quick throw by Howell, and wide open on the right side in front of Dean Leonard is Derek Young. Another first down for the Seahawks.
A quick decision. You got 2 quick outs here, Dan, and just take the easiest one. You got that much cushion on the outside. That makes the decision for the quarterback pretty easy.
Yeah, and you talked about the lively arm of Howell. It's on display with that type of throw.
As a thrower coming out of college, remind me of Baker Mayfield, because he's not the biggest guy, but the ball jumps out of his hand.
That's a good call.
That is their 9th first down. The Chargers yet to pick up 1, and Howell just going to dirt it on the pressure from Troy Dye on the blitz.
A nice job by Troy Dye. They're trying to get that out, set that up, try to just hold him up for a count, but Troy Dye doesn't let him hold him up for a count. He wins right now. So they didn't have time to set that screen up, and he just has to dirt the football. Nice job by Troy Dye.
He's out there with Nick Neiman now, so it looks like Deion Henley's afternoon is done. Perriman did not play. Neiman, I think, involved in a missed tackle on that first down run. And McIntosh also had one earlier on the touchdown toss. Now the throw, and underneath, cannot make the catch, is Kobe Lewis, the rookie out of FAU. So now a 3rd and 10. Still seeing some starters out there. John Taylor.
Getting a lot of work. This defense is getting a lot of work here today.
Let's go down to the sideline real quick. Jamie Maggio. What do we got, Jamie?
Hey there, Money. We saw Chris Rump kind of limp into the injury tent. They were taking a look at his left foot. As you know, he's had surgery on both feet in the past. He did go back to the locker room. His return at this point into the game is questionable.
Okay, thank you. In a battle with Morris Brash for that end spot. And look at this, we got a sack. I think that was Troy Dye in there. And indeed, he comes out, little celebration. So a pair of plays from Troy Dye to force the punt there, Dan.
Well, it's a mismatch. McIntosh, number 25, trying to put the block on Dye. Dye is very athletic. Former University of Oregon star, played with Justin Herbert in Eugene.
Yeah, they're good buddies. Happy to see his former friend show up on the roster.
And his little brother Travis was pretty good too up there.
No question.
One of the offseason free agent signings by the Bolts. It's Jalen Gill. Aussie-style punt into the end zone.
I think USC is going to claim Travis now, though. They got him for a year, Dan, so I think they're going to claim him from Oregon.
Not a bad claim.
Los Angeles Chargers Impact Fund is a nonprofit charity empowering youth, generating access, and creating opportunities in under-resourced neighborhoods so today's dreams can become tomorrow's reality. To learn how you can help make a difference, visit chargers.com/impact. Well, staying true to the script, they wanted 20 or 30 plays out of Easton Stick, and he's got to play the whole first half. He's going to play the whole first half, maybe even into the third quarter.
Well, he needs to build some confidence. As Daniel said on the last possession, get him a couple of completions, a couple of easy plays so that he's starting to feel better about his game.
Pitch goes to Elijah Dotson, his first carry, as he replaces Isaiah Spiller. Shoved out of bounds right sideline. That'll pick up 3, so a 2nd and 7. Again, the Chargers still looking for their first down of this game with 7.5 left in the second quarter.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Seahawks are flying around too. Give them some credit here defensively. They've played a lot of their top guys early, and as this second unit has rolled through there, they are flying to the ball. And the Chargers just haven't been able to get that first down. Get a first down, see if you get a little momentum going, Dan. They just haven't been able to get that elusive first down to get going.
And Greg Roman was concerned about Mike McDonald and his style of defense, and it's coming to fruition here in the first half.
That's Quentin Johnston in motion. Stick. There's your quick completion. And Dotson going to pick up a couple. It'll make it a 3rd, and we'll say 4.
He threw him away from that defender, trying to protect him a little bit. But here we go, another 3rd down.
0 for 4. Not 3rd down.
I'm going to put my eyes on big 76 Joe Alt, the first-round tackle here at that right tackle position, still out there.
Dotson stays in the backfield. Brendan Rice in motion. They bring extra defenders, and too high for Brendan Rice, who was well short of the sticks and covered anyway by Kobe Bryant. And it's another 3 and out.
Even
Boo's
if that
starting
ball,
to come down a little
even
bit.
if the ball was on target, it would be, as you said, Matt, well short of the first down.
See, I don't know what you guys are talking about, because I said I'm just watching Joe Alt. He did great. He looked
great.
awesome on that one. That's the big takeaway on that play.
3 Seahawks had a shot at that one.
J.K. Scott again for the 5th time. And it's D. Williams back there to return the punt. And this is a wobbler. Shank to the right. Takes a bounce, though. And fielded at the 29-yard line. Breaks a couple tackles and unwisely runs backwards. It is a 45-yard punt and a loss of 3. Well, you mentioned Joe Alt, DJ. Here's the draft class. Led by the number 5 overall pick, Joe Alt. It was a deep offensive tackle class. They get up a guy that only gave up 1 sack in his college career to lead the charge. But how about the rest of it and how they filled it out?
Yeah, we're not going to see Ladd McConkey today, but I think he's got a chance to be the best wide receiver on this team. Can play inside, can play outside. He's an excellent route runner. Junior Colson's been nicked up. Dan, we haven't got a chance to see him yet, but not only a great player, a great leader that I think will eventually find his way into a starting role at the linebacker position.
And with Herbert's injury now, it throws off all the timing and all the extra work that they need at this point of the training camp.
Nice play by Ty Shelby there. He did not bite on the option play. It was a keeper for Howell, and Shelby right there waiting for a loss of 2.
Yeah, you got new running backs, you got new wide receivers, new tight ends, and they're not getting the practice time that they need with their star quarterback.
Yeah, and a new system, new staff. I mean, everything's brand new, so you take the most important piece out in the quarterback, it becomes a big challenge.
They go empty for Howell. That's time to throw. Takes a shot. Tipped away.
There we go.
Nice play by J.T. Woods.
He got some pressure on the sack we had earlier, Dan, and then follows it up with a nice pass breakup. So nice to see him making some plays here.
Yeah, really close to being able to pick this one off. He got that right hand in there and smartly had his left hand on the back of the receiver. Did not turn him, so it's not pass interference, but that's a heck of a play.
Woods in that battle for the 3rd safety spot. Finley out there with him as they're running split safeties.
Now you're going to see some of these sim pressures. You're seeing everybody lined up on the line of scrimmage here for the Chargers. And now it's a matter of who's coming and who's dropping.
Bring 4. Howell has time and swatted away by Dean Leonard. Beautiful play by the third-year corner on Ole Miss. Pass intended for Jake Bobo, falls incomplete.
Yeah, ball just a little bit late for Bobo. But good reaction there by Leonard.
Leonard's been playing on that second team at corner, along with the rookie Cam Hart. Starters Asante Samuel, Christian Fulton.
That's a really good series for the secondary. JT Woods with a breakup before that one. 2 nice plays, and see if that gets some life into this offense.
That's what happened to help get Woods drafted in the 3rd round, right? Led the NCAA with 6 interceptions at Baylor.
That was crushed.
Absolutely crushed. All the way back to the 15-yard line. 20. Now 25. 30. Here we go, Gill. Out past the 30. Just shy of the 35-yard line. A 61-yard punt, but a 23-yard return. So nice bit of work for Gill. A rookie out of Fresno State. Charger fans, be part of the live game day action with all the comforts of home. Club seats at SoFi Stadium offer all the best amenities, premium views, seating, food options, and more. Reserve your tickets today at chargers.com/tickets.
Joe Alt still out there, still getting some work.
Well, they need snaps.
Yeah.
They don't have a first down yet, so they were talking 20, 30 snaps, and they're not even at 20 yet. And here's Stick with the keeper, using his legs. There's a first down.
There we go.
Gain of 11. Something he did regularly, Dan, at North Dakota State.
It was the Lawrence Welk offense. 1, 2, 3 kick.
They were just waiting for that first down to get this tempo going.
There you go.
And now to throw. There you go. Completion is Stone Smart. And that is a battle that we should talk about as well. That 3rd tight end, Parham, Stone Smart. We know it's going to be Hayden Hurst and Disley, but Greg Roman's saying he wants to see something out of those tight ends here today.
I like it. Let's take a shot here.
They bring a blitz and Stick for Smart, but he can't haul it in. Poked away at the last second. But that is a pass that Smart should haul in. It's Mike Morris, the defensive lineman, that pokes it away.
Now remember, Hayden Hurst got hurt earlier in this quarter. He's on the exercise bike right now. So, you know, one guy's injury becomes another guy's opportunity. But it is a pretty good battle. Very athletic. Stone Smart, very tall, Donald Parham.
We've got Brennan Rice down here in the bottom, Money. I would just love to see them give him an opportunity as we get down the field. Let him go up and get one.
Well, they put him in motion, right to left. And Stick has to climb the pocket, going to keep it, and he gets stoned right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be a 3rd and 10. And I think that was Leatherwood that just got beat immediately.
Looked like they were going to try and get a little wheel route coming off of that motion with Brennan Rice. It just didn't materialize, and Easton tried to get out of there.
Interesting. In talking to Greg Roman about Rice, he just says he's going to make the team. He is a player. Nothing seems to faze him. Obviously, the great Jerry Rice being his dad, a tremendous example he was.
So on a 3rd and 10, Stick in the air and nearly intercepted off the hands of Johnson. Kobe Bryant nearly had his 2nd pick. And see whether or not they go for it, or if Dicker's going to come out, and he will, and attempt the field goal.
He's got to find a way to put that ball on his body, and you have a completion right there, just a little bit up.
DJ James, the one that broke it up, the rookie out of Auburn. So here's Dicker from 58 yards. His career long is 55. The most accurate kicker in NFL history in his first 2 seasons. And this one, hey, you get a little draw on your drive, and you're going to get a couple extra yards. If you're a golfer, you know it. And man, that thing had about 10 yards of draw and maybe 58.5 yards of carry.
That was crushed.
Great camera work too, because it really looked like a sweeper, way right, down the middle.
A beautiful kick from Cameron Dicker. And the Chargers are on the board. And you think about Justin Tucker as the best kicker in the league and perhaps the best kicker in league history, but through 2 years, Cameron Dicker is outpacing him. He is connected on 94.5% of his opportunities. Tucker through his first 2 was 91.9%. That's how good Dicker has been.
It's good company.
Now for you math minors, 52 of 55 field goals.
How about that?
And never has missed an extra point.
When you're around him, he's got that don't care attitude. He is just as flatlined as they come. So here's the first kickoff. And it's going to be fielded in the end zone, brought out. And he's got a lane all the way out to the 40-yard line. And I think that was Dicker that had to make the tackle. You don't want to see that. 43-yard return. For more on Cameron Dicker, let's get to Jamie Maggio.
Well, guys, I had a conversation with Dicker, the kicker, and he told me that when he lines up to kick those field goals, he's not thinking about yardage at all. He said he looks past the goalposts, and you see SoFi Stadium written big up there, and he says he just aims for one of the letters in SoFi Stadium and goes full throttle, just tries to kick a straight one. So beautiful one we just saw.
And as you're telling us about that, who's the first guy that gets up to him on the sideline after that tackle? Derwin James. You know, Derwin loved that.
It's Dicker, the hitter.
There you go. Seattle back to the run with 3 minutes, 15 seconds left in this half. 6 plays, 26 yards, 95 seconds. Cameron Dicker, 58-yard field goal to put the Chargers on the board.
You know, with this new kickoff rule, I think we're going to see a lot better returns once they figure out what the personnel that they want blocking for the return guy.
I also wonder, how much they're showing, right? Because you would assume they've got some things that they're going to try out when the regular season starts. Another handoff to Kobe Lewis, and he'll be just short of the first down. It'll be a third and about a half yard from the Chargers side of the field, 47-yard line. Kobe Lewis, the rookie out of FAU. How about a double transfer? Central Michigan, then Purdue. We got a lot of those. Then FAU.
This entire preseason, when you're watching games, you're seeing a lot of 3 college guys, a lot of 24-year-old rookies.
6 years. I'm putting games played in the 60s.
Oh, yeah.
For a lot of these guys.
Dan, would you have gone in the portal? Would you have gone in the portal back in the day, Dan? Could they have pried you out of Eugene?
Hey, we had NIL. Nil.
That carry from Lewis will take us to the 2-minute warning. It'll be a new set of downs for the Seahawks when we return. But the Chargers are on the board, 13-3 here at SoFi. Now here near the end of the first half, you see Dean Spanos, chairman, owner of the Chargers, and talk about investing in a team. You talk about the hiring of Jim Harbaugh, paying the staff, but you don't make a lot of money on the facility. And Dean Spanos spent between $200 and $300 million on the Bolt, the brand new state-of-the-art practice facility that the Charger players, Dan, cannot stop raving about.
It's awesome, in a word. What is between 200 and 300 million?
Right?
I mean, come on, narrow it down, will you?
Is it 220? Is it 285? It might be north of 300.
Holy cow.
Right? Sam Howell stays in. Will play action and cannot connect with Laviska Shenault.
One of the few poor throws we've seen from Sam Howell. He tried to rush that one. Quick out there to Laviska Shenault. Well, let's see this Charger defense. We saw him get a little frisky on that last series, Dan, when they had an opportunity. We saw him put everybody up there at the line of scrimmage, try and guess where they're coming from. I think that's what you're going to see more of once we get to the regular season.
Pistol formation here for the Seahawks. 2nd and 10. And right there, nice run fit. After a gain of maybe a yard and a half or 2, brings up a 3rd and 8.
And that's a middle linebacker play there. Nick Neiman with recognized the blocking pattern, saw the hole. It was as if he was the running back trying to get through the hole.
In scouting, we use the phrase stopping power. When you make contact, are you falling backwards or is he falling backwards? That was excellent stopping power by Nick Neiman in the hole.
7 of 11 on third down to the Seahawks. Lewis stays in the backfield. And they bring extra rushers. Howell under duress, and he's going to go down. Hins there, but the first man, Nick Neiman. Back-to-back big plays.
And basically that took Seattle out of field goal range.
Fourth-year special teams standout from Iowa. He's arguably been the Chargers' best special teams player. And now getting some reps this preseason. And after a bit of a slow start, DJ bouncing back here on this series.
And you see in just the aggressiveness, not only aggressiveness in the play of the players, but in the calls. Jesse Minter's really starting to cut these guys loose. And you find the energy picks up a little bit when you become a little bit more aggressive. This is fun to watch, and I think something we're going to see a lot of once Khalil, Joey, and company get out there.
Let's see, we talked to Coach Harbaugh about playing to win, and he said, you know, end of period, end of half, end of game situations, that's when it'll show its head. So with 65 seconds left, see how Greg Roman and Coach Harbaugh decide to call this one. Fair catch signaled for by Gill. And they'll need to go 95 yards if they want to get a touchdown. 42-yard punt, no return. And out comes Easton Stick, so he'll end up playing at least the entire first half. Stick 4 of 12, 28 yards, and an interception, 11 rush yards, so rough outing.
You can leave with a good taste in your mouth if you go down here and get some points. And when you've got Dicker, I think the 50 is about your target, apparently, or how far you got to go.
It's Justin Herbert on the sideline wearing that walk-in boot.
Chargers had to burn a timeout, so he's left with just 2.
And they're just going to hand it off here. But Patterson breaks a tackle. A lot of times that's all you want to do. Stays in bounds to the 22, and they're not going to call a timeout. They won't bang it. Keep going. It's a gain of 16 for Patterson. Have not seen Kamani Vidal in this one, and we didn't think we were gonna. Did not practice all week. Stick quick to smart, and that's not really what you need.
Nope.
With 2 timeouts left. They got to bang the second of 3 timeouts there, and it'll be a 2nd and 6.
That was a 3-man route, and all of them were 5 yards or less. Trying to build some confidence in Easton Stick with a couple of completions, but if you're thinking about getting to midfield, and then now you got to burn a timeout after that.
Yeah, if you're going to work in the middle of the field, you got to get chunks. Otherwise, you got to keep this ball outside of the perimeter. If you're going to throw underneath, that's not where you want to be in the middle of the field.
Maybe an exhibition game, but we've seen our share of blitzes so far in this contest. Taking a page out of Wink Martindale's book in the preseason. Win those 24 straight, right? That's how you do it with blitzing. And we got movement from Alt. I'll make that Foster Sorrell.
False start. Offense number 73. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Alt's night is done. Foster Sorrell, the 3rd-year tackle out of Stanford, the one that made the move. So now,
Outside of one rush where Chenoweth got Alt in his chest a little bit, the rest of the day I thought was outstanding for his first NFL action for the first rounder.
I think that's Chenna and Alt saying, hey, this talk of ending the Notre Dame-USC rivalry is nonsense, all right? Keep this thing going. Here comes the blitz, and Stick going to be dropped. No, he escapes, but not for long. And that will likely do it.
Some pressure off that left side. Leatherwood got beat. 67, you're going to see him get beat, and that forces Easton up into the pocket. A lot of traffic, Dan.
Well, the defense has such an advantage in this type of situation where you know they're going to pass, so they can, that old pin your ears back and come after the quarterback, and that's what they did. Stick did a good job trying to get away from it all, but there's just too many of them.
Mike McDonald uses one of his timeouts. Can't take him with you, so see if one of his defenders can make a play here. And there's Mike McDonald there, 37 years old. Head coach of the Seahawks. Was the DC for Jim Harbaugh for a season at Michigan. And they hand it off to Patterson. Stays on his feet. Gets out to the 23-yard line. And Seattle will, in fact, use their timeout. So J.K. Scott with a little bit more work in this first half. More than he typically has in a full game. Get him ready for the season. So Easton Stick, we'll see whether or not he plays in the second half, but if this is it, 5 of 13, 32 yards, 1 interception, and a passer rating of 14.6. Regardless of how you call it or what the personnel is, probably would like to see something a little bit better.
The plan was to play all 4 backup quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's going to work.
He's speed dating in the second half to get through the rest of them.
Well, you could rotate him in the same series, you know. Scott with another, I mean, just a booming punt. It's been the highlight of the night for the Chargers. Special teams. And a great play for a second. I think I'll say that was Samari Walton that made that play out there. Had him and then didn't realize he didn't go down. It's 54-yard punt, 8-yard return, and 7 seconds left for Seattle. You talked about the arm of Sam Howell. See if they just decide to go bombs away here.
J.K. Scott looks exhausted.
I'll tell you what, Ryan Ficken's going to have a long special teams meeting. They take him a while to get through all the tape. It's good evaluation opportunity.
Yeah, that's true for
those guys. That's the guys who really compete for these final few spots, and special teams a big part of that. So he's going to enjoy getting a chance to dig into all that video.
And they'll take the knee. Sam Howell solid in the first half, 10 of 20, 60 yards and a touchdown. Not to mention 3 carries for 18 yards. Make sure to stay tuned for the Bolts Central halftime show with first half analysis from Jim Hill, Chris Hayre, and former Chargers defensive back Jaleel Adai. Seahawks lead the Chargers 13-3. First exhibition game, 13-3 Seattle here at SoFi Stadium.
Half is your special teams. We've seen some great punts. We saw a 58-yard field goal by Cameron Dicker, but that's been it. I mean, defensively, a couple of nice defensive plays in the secondary, but offensively, it's been dismal.
I thought the energy picked up defensively as the half went along. You saw some big plays there at the end of the half. That needs to translate to the offense here in the second half.
All right, let's get a look at those numbers. As a matter of fact, Tracks the Score presented by UCLA Health, keeping you on top of your game. And the look at the first half stats, it's not pretty. 44 rush yards, just 27 passing yards, and you see that big fat 0 for 7 on third down for the Chargers as they trail by 10. They will kick off to start the second half. They received in the first half. And see whether or not Easton Stick's night is done. If he'll be out in the third quarter. If it'll be Sam Howell for the Seahawks or P.J. Walker. And remember, we got ourselves new kickoff in 2024. New kickoff rule. We got that landing zone between the goal line and the 20. You got to drop it in there. If it goes straight into the end zone, a team is awarded the ball at the 30. There is no more fair catch. That automatically puts you at the 25-yard line. Fair catch would be at the spot where you receive it. So after last year having the lowest return rate in the NFL, want to get this thing back going. And this is received. There's that Chargers special teams unit. Big hit just shy of the 15-yard line. And the Harbaugh halftime report is sponsored by your Southern California Chevy dealers as we get to Jamie Maggio.
Coach, first game of the preseason, first half of ball, what'd you think?
Well, a lot offensively getting it going. You know, we did too many 3 and outs. Special teams, I think, is playing good. Defense really has had some really good series, especially those last 3. So second half, coming out, get the energy up, and go to work here. Got 30 minutes.
We're going to see a lot more of Easton Stick in the second half?
We're going to go with Max Duggan. Right now, he'll start the second half.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
All right, guys.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Coach Harbaugh. So Max Duggan will get the start when the Chargers offense gets back on the field. Tip of the cap there to Thomas Harper, the rookie out of Notre Dame and Oklahoma State.
He announced his presence to start the third quarter. Whoa.
Sam Howell can keep playing here in the second half. taking a shot, and he's got his man downfield all the way out to the 40-yard line is Derek Young. That's 26 yards. Just found a soft spot there.
Shane Lee there, the linebacker, Dan, just ran right by him.
Yeah, and Hal had time to throw, and that was his best pass of the day. Derek Young from Hickory, North Carolina.
A lot of furniture's made in Hickory, North Carolina, by the way. Not far from where I went to college there at App State.
That's right.
I used to go to Hickory for donuts, Dan. That's,
swing pass to Laviska Chenault.
That's the exciting college life I led.
Did you ever play against Lenore Rhine?
I've been to Lenore Rhine, but we did not play them.
2,300 students there.
That's a little beneath App State. I mean, we're not arrogant about many, but that one we'd say we don't play them.
You played Michigan, though.
We did that.
I remember that one.
He'd prefer you say they played Wake Forest with the Jera Messiah on the game-winning run there. Howell under center. And this time it's Helani with the carry. Gain of 3, 2nd and 7. So Howell acquired in the offseason in a trade. Obviously, Washington with the number 2 overall pick selects Jaden Daniels. Sam Howell started 17 games last year, so they move him out of town. You see 12 of 22 for 104 and that touchdown toss earlier to Brady Russell. Also has run for 18 yards. And this one, speaking of Russell, quick out to the 38. Bring up a third. Looks like it'll be about a 3rd and 6.
That ball looked like it might have been tipped.
It was either tipped or just died. That did get tipped. You're right.
That's Morris Brash. He's having himself a pretty good game. Pressure off the edges. That's someone that Coach Minter likes. Mentioned Khalil Mack brought him up after a practice, impressed with what he had put out there that day.
Here again, where we got everybody up on the line.
6 on the line of scrimmage and 4 rush. And Howell's got a lane, and Russell is wide open in front of Hankins. And another first down for Seattle.
That was a real veteran type of throw as he dropped down on the run, moving up in the pocket, and just flicks it to the wide open tight end.
Climbs the pocket, delivers the strike, 13-3. Seattle on top of the Chargers, as they are now at the Charger 26-yard line with a new set of downs, looking to add to their 10-point lead. Ocean man D. Estridge, and nearly picked off. Beautifully read by A.J. Finley, currently the leader for that 3rd safety spot.
Another slot blitz here, number 24. Again, if he could just pop that straight up in the air, he takes it all the way back for a touchdown. But good reaction. Another good play out of our secondary.
Finley made the 53-man roster last year as an undrafted free agent. Now Kobe Lewis in the backfield. And that ball through the hands into Laviska Chenault's hands. Dean Leonard was looking to take that thing back to the house.
I don't know how he missed it, Daniel.
He read it, he jumped it, and then somehow the ball just got right past him. Watch, he climbs up, sees it, pulls the trigger, and just kind of lost his footing almost as he went to the ground.
He really did. He's over anxious here.
Oh, he catches that, Danny. He hits his head on the goalpost.
Yes,
he is gone.
He's celebrating.
Stead, 1st and 10 for the Seahawks inside the 15. Handoff, and Neiman makes the tackle of Lewis. He gets to the 8. Gain of 5.
3 plays in a row the Chargers had their hands, or should have had their hands on all of them, and all of them could have been returned for 6.
Yeah.
No doubt. Good teaching points. That'll be something that comes up in the film session tomorrow, and that's really what the preseason is. They don't count, so you get a chance to learn some lessons here.
Well, really good picture of him losing his balance.
Just kind of stumbled.
Forward,
yeah, just stumbled.
Comes to mind was one of those 3 pillars from Coach Harbaugh, right? Margin of error, inches there. Lewis, handoff, lowers his head, gets to the 5, so it'll be a 3rd and 1. Neiman, our leading, sorry, DJ.
Go ahead.
Neiman, our leading tackler, was 7. You talk about the more aggressive defense, and it feels as though Neiman's leading the charge there.
Scott Matlock, the second-year player, just went back onto the field, so he's getting a lot of work today, a young defensive lineman.
Stacked on the line of scrimmage. Handoff to Lewis, lowers the shoulder, pushes forward. He's got the first down. It'll be a 1st and goal from the 3, middle of the field. Offensive line got some push there for the Seahawks.
It'll be interesting to see what the rotation looks like for this defensive tackle group once you get to the regular season, get the ones out there, because as we've mentioned, Dan, they're set on the edges. The Chargers are as good as it gets out there on the edges. It's going to be a combination of players on the interior to see how they hold up.
It appears they're doing a pretty good job at least freeing up Neiman to make tackles. And that's sometimes what you want out of your defensive tackles.
Hand off to Lewis, and he's going to be stopped. Looked like Matlock came from the backside. 72 there, Gerard Clark. He's on the practice squad for most of last season. Coastal Carolina, undrafted free agent. In the middle of that as well.
Tony Jefferson was in the backfield on that one too, who's got a fascinating story. He was working in the scouting department for the Chargers general manager Joe Ortiz with the Baltimore Ravens, and then he gets the GM job here with the Chargers and say, hey, put the scouting hat down for a second, pick up a helmet.
Help us out here. Need a 3rd safety.
Experience, big hitter.
Howell rolling to his right, looking for Holani's got him, reaches out, not into the end zone though. He'll be stopped short, and that is nice pursuit by Chris Collins, the rookie out of Minnesota, North Carolina transfer.
It's a heck of a play by Chris Collins. Was able to hold him up just a little bit, and then the effort and the hustle to keep him from extending that ball beyond the pylon.
Also knocking that ball out, even though he was out of bounds, DJ. You know, you're in bounds, that thing squibs out, now it's touchback.
That's right, and that's the danger of guys trying to reach for that pylon. You see that fumble that goes into the end zone and then out of bounds, and there's your touchback.
There's your pistol, 2 tight ends, left side of that line. Handoff, Holani, effort, and looks like he's going to be stuffed. See Clark in there, you see Collins in there.
Collins totally unblocked, goes for the legs and then gets help up top from his teammates. This is such great practice here.
4th and goal.
I love that Seattle's going for it because it really tests our defense here. They've been up to the task last couple plays.
From the shotgun, inside the 1.
Howell can pull the ball here. Harbaugh wants a timeout.
And he's going to get it.
Yeah, I know I'm old school, Daniel.
Yeah.
But be under center. The threat of the quarterback sneak is always there. There's no threat here. Howell is, would have the ability, and of course Justin Herbert under center from the 1-yard line. Even if you don't run the quarterback sneak, that's what they're thinking about. So they're jamming the middle. Believe me, I remember. Right. I kind of remember. But it's just a play that you're wasting by going into the shotgun from the 1-yard line.
Yeah, you dictate the look you're going to get. You get under center, they're going to pinch those 2 D tackles, and you know exactly what look you're going to get.
Now this drive is chewed up the 3rd quarter. 6 minutes, 50 seconds. As they received the opening kick of the 2nd half, and here they are inside the 1, and now they're going to take your advice after the timeout, Dan. Get under center. Holani in the backfield, Howell under center, strength of the line is right from the right hash. Handoff to Holani, and he is stoned. Oh, the Chargers defense comes up big. Less than a yard, and here's Tony Jefferson. Talk about somebody that has been in the league for 10 years. Makes the big play and celebrates the Stony. Chargers take over from their own 2 when we return. Huge defensive stand by the Chargers on a 4th and goal from inside the 1. Gets the ball back to the offense, and we got a new quarterback, Max Duggan. 2nd season, drafted in the 7th round last year out of TCU. Piled up 73 touchdowns. While there, you see the 2022 season made the playoff. So he's under center. And it's a quick handoff to Patterson, and does a good job of pushing the pile, giving some breathing room there out to the 4. Duggan, Dan, did a little bit of a different way. 1,856 rushing yards and 26 rushing touchdowns while with the Horned Frogs.
Yeah, and I'd like to see him work with Quentin Johnston. Obviously, they played together at TCU, and you'd think that they would have instant chemistry, but I do not see Johnston in the game.
It's Brennan Rice wide of the numbers right. Simi Fehoko in the slot, and again, it's a delayed handoff on the option play. And they'll get out to the 8, so it'll bring up a 3rd and 4.
And that's what we should expect to see from Duggan, is the option play. At great speed, more polished as a runner than a thrower.
A part of him dies every time he has to give that ball, though. He wants to pull that and take it every time.
It's Jalen Johnson to the right, Fehoko and Rice to the left. And they convert a 3rd down for the first time. Duggan keeps it. Duggan dives for the first down. Out to the 14-yard line. You called it, DJ. Keep it, and I'll get it.
I'll give you 1. I'm not giving you 2, okay? It's my turn. It's my turn to tuck this thing and go. And not only is he quick, he is strong and tough. He is going to try and get every last little bit of yardage he can get. That's what he is at TCU. And when we've got a chance to see him in the preseason last year, the same thing, man.
Good combination, smart, tough, and fast.
5 minutes, 5 seconds left in the 3rd, and the Chargers convert their first 3rd down. Handoff to Dotson. He'll pick up a couple out to the 22.
All right, I'm changing my tune. I've been asking him to throw to Brendan Rice because I want to see that. Now I'll just give him a reverse. Let's just get the ball in his hand. Let's let him touch the football and see what he can do here. He is going to be an exciting young player, and once Justin Herbert gets back under center, I think you're going to see him make some plays for the Chargers this year.
That's one of the things with the unfortunate performance from Easton Stick in the first half. Can't evaluate any of these receivers, and it's a heck of a contest to make this 53-man roster. Duggan, play action. Escapes pressure, whips it out into the flat. Fehoko is out there, and he dives forward to the 20. Pick up just a couple. Bring up a 3rd, we'll call it 6. I'll say 3rd and 5. And there it is, just whipped it out there to Fehoko. Cousin of former Charger Braden Fehoko. Simeon, his 4th season out of Stanford. Dotson in the backfield. That bunch formation to the right. They rush 4. Can the line hold up? Duggan throws. Caught Fehoko, but he's going to be short. Way short of the sticks.
That was an interesting concept there. You had one Charger receiver going deep, and then Fehoko on about a 3-yard out, number 87. And really not a whole lot of opportunity to pick up the first down when you throw the ball that short of the sticks and expect the receiver to pick up the yardage after the catch.
So J.K. Scott once again our MVP of this game for the Chargers.
It's tough between him and Dicker, though.
Yes, indeed. And this hanging up there, fair catch signaled for 37 is where it's fielded. 41-yard punt, no return. So another punt. Seattle leads 13-3 here with 2:48 left in the 3rd. the wild, wild AFC West, and there's a new sheriff in town. Get your tickets today to see Coach Jim Harbaugh and the Bolts battle for football's ultimate prize, the Lombardi Trophy. Visit Chargers.com/tickets to secure your seats today before they're gone. Well, Coach coming off national championship at Michigan, and Mike McDonald was his defensive coordinator for a season. Spent all those years with his brother John in Baltimore. And how about down on the field, 18 players and coaches in the game connected with each other at Michigan.
That's wild.
Sam Howell's night is done. P.J. Walker out there takes the shotgun snap, hands it off to Halani, and he'll get out to the 40, we'll call it 4-yard line, and we go downstairs to Jamie Maggio.
Guys, watch out. We might have another commentator. Derwin's calling things out during the game here. Derwin, I haven't seen you in a minute, but I just want to say congratulations. Off season, you were nominated, you won the award for LA Athlete of the Year for Community Service by the LA Sports Award. Why has that always been something near and dear to your heart?
I just remember being that kid, and always said if I make it big or have any success, I want to give back and impact lives on a positive way, and that's just one step to many things I want to do.
Spreading the love. I saw you go over to Dicker after he hit that 58-yarder. What'd you say to him?
I say congrats, man. That's a leg right there, and he had a nice tackle on the kickoff, and I'm like, man, you look like a safety out there, and just giving him a little love.
Got to give the kicker some love. Got to keep that confidence up. How are you watching this preseason game? What have your thoughts so far of the defense this year?
I like it. We can clean it up in some spots, but I like how everybody communicating. Whoever's stepping in when a number called, they're doing their job, and we got to just finish the game.
Thank you, Derwin.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, guys.
Thank you, Derwin. Thank you, Jamie. Pick up a first down there from Walker.
I hope Derwin plays for a long time, money, but he can do TV yesterday.
No doubt. He is energy in human form. So fun to be around him. Walker hit as he throws. Oh, but Lee can't intercept it. Nice pressure from Neiman, though, who's having himself a heck of a first half. And you see Walker there.
Yeah, it was a smart play by Neiman. First of all, he knows he's going to get pressure on Walker, but he doesn't commit a foul here. He could have taken him all the way to the ground, which would have been a penalty. But smartly just pushed him to the ground.
Is that how they hit you back in the day, Dan?
I don't remember.
Handoff goes to Lewis. Neiman again with the tackle. Gain of 2. It'll be 3rd and 8 from the Charger 45. 13-3 Seattle on top as we're nearing the end of the third quarter. Neiman is the leading tackler in this contest. Double digits now, 10 of them. And on 3rd and 8, it's Walker in the shotgun, Lewis in his right pocket. They rush 5. Walker cuts it loose, has a man right sideline, but off the mark.
He had 2 guys there, and he threw it between both of them.
They both got on top of coverage, too. D. Eskridge was the closest man. It sailed over his head.
There's Chris Wilcox in coverage there.
Both receivers, and that ball lands just about halfway to both of them.
Wilcox in his 4th year out of BYU, one of those, well, you run a 4.3 40, and even though you had in 5 years 8 passes defensed and 0 interceptions, you're going to find yourself on a
got something to work with,
roster. Exactly. Let's see if we can find it.
Can't coach speed.
Well, here's Dixon kicking it, and Gill will let it take a bounce, and it'll be down at the 5. 40-yard punt. No return. Dixon pins the Chargers deep again. Duggan will have it at his own 5. Seattle on top of the Chargers 13-3. But the offense back on the field with Max Duggan. Savvy Decision sponsored by your Southern California Volkswagen dealers. Hurry in during the Volkswagen Savvy Summer Sales event for a test drive today. And Harbaugh making that savvy decision to bring back Greg Roman as his offensive coordinator. You see it here. Did it with the Stanford Cardinal, Andrew Luck, Toby Gerhart in those years. And with the 49ers, those 3 straight NFC Championship games, and found his way to the Baltimore Ravens, where he helped make Lamar Jackson MVP of the league. Into the pistol. Duggan hands this one off to Spiller. He gets out to the 10, gain of 2. It'll be a 2nd and 8. So we got 44 new players on the Chargers this year. Drafted 9, signed 15 as free agents, and 20 undrafted college free agents make up their 90-man composition. There's Jim Harbaugh there. Duggan to throw, middle of the field, and throws it behind his intended receiver, Jalen Johnson.
This is the end of the 3rd quarter.
And that now brings us to the 4th quarter. So Max Duggan going to have a 3rd and 8 when we return. See if the Chargers can get this ball moving to start the 4th. Start of the 4th quarter, and Chargers offense on the field. They have had the ball for just 14 minutes and 34 seconds in this contest. Drive of the day sponsored by Hyundai. Get away with a great deal only at the Hyundai Getaway Sales event. Visit HyundaiUSA.com today. Here, stick with the keeper. Got the scoring drive started. It culminated with Cameron Dicker booting it from 58. Would have been good from probably 65. Put the Chargers on the board. That is their only score of the game. We mentioned 30 minutes 30 seconds to 14 minutes 30 seconds time of possession in this one. In favor of Seattle. Duggan out to the right, has Parham, and a nice effort. How about that? Donald Parham, starting tight end for this team in the 4th quarter of a preseason game, extends to pick up a 1st down.
Yeah, showed good strength there after the catch. He goes at 6'8", but he makes the catch. Good throw by Duggan too. You love that effort. Picked up an extra 4 yards after contact.
Spiller in the backfield, and Duggan will keep it. Outside the numbers, 25, right sideline, out of bounds. And he'll pick up 6, 2nd and 4, his 2nd run of the contest.
I don't think it will be his last either. He is very comfortable tucking it and going, and again, he shows you that burst, that initial suddenness to create some space and some room.
You see Brennan Rice out there in the huddle along with Simi Fehoko. Jalen Johnson goes out with Fehoko. Rice wide of the numbers right. Wouldn't mind seeing something downfield. Duggan hands to Spiller. Nowhere to go. Shuffles his feet. Makes it happen. Picks up the 1st down. Needed 3. Picked up 4. Another 1st down. Maybe we got ourselves a drive, guys.
Definitely a good start to it for Parham, and now Spiller. Spiller under a lot of pressure to make this team and be a contributor.
They're looking for that 3rd back behind Dobbins and Edwards. Spiller, Patterson, Elijah Dotson, of course the rookie Kamani Vidal, who we did not see today. And Duggan, the play action, has time. Now he's going to roll out with pressure. Throws, and wide of the mark for Fehoko. So a 2nd and 10. Probably could have picked up a few if he had tucked it and run.
Check the Seattle sideline because that was a scud coming in.
That's a good call. Or maybe the sweep behind it, which would be even worse. We're in the 4th quarter. It's in a game where maybe you have to track down your own entertainment.
Well, 38 yards passing today for the Charger quarterbacks.
Struggle is real. And a 2nd and 10. Dotson in the backfield. Here comes a delayed blitz. And downfield, Fehoko secures the catch. Oh, into plus territory. The 41 of Seattle. That's a 28-yard connection.
Yeah, almost matched the passing yardage he had up until that point. Big 28-yard chunk play, Dan.
Well, he's 6'4", and he uses all of it. Ball thrown behind him. Great adjustment.
Hand off to Dotson, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage. Churns the legs, though. Picks up 1, maybe 2. We'll bring up a 2nd and 8 to the 39. Dotson, another part of that group. 2nd season out of Northern Colorado. Was active a couple times last year. Not a lot of production. With the injury to Austin Eckler. And the struggles of Joshua Kelly. You see J.K. Dobbins there. So they want this to be a run-heavy attack. They bring in the 2 big backs from Baltimore, Gus Edwards and Dobbins, in the hopes they can stay healthy and do the same sort of damage they did for the Ravens. And Duggan drops. And a little shovel pass. Oh, but Dotson cannot handle it. Great heads-up play by Duggan, but it falls incomplete.
Watch him step up into the pocket. He sees Dotson coming out of the backfield, and it's kind of like an option type of throw. Incomplete pass, but he might want that one back and might just keep it himself next time.
Or we just wait to see if Cameron Dicker can do a 58-yarder again, entertain us with that draw.
We're in his range.
Dotson stays in.
I think we were in his range when I got out of my car, right? In the parking lot.
Duggan under pressure, and he's going to be dropped. I don't know if they're still in his range now. Back to the 50.
Yeah,
That is a loss of 11.
He hit a 58-yarder, and if my math is correct, what perfect conditions to be a place kicker.
Oh, no doubt. We saw that in that Chiefs game.
Harrison Butker, that was the first game in this building.
It was. And I think what, 59, 2 59-yarders, one to send it to overtime, one to win it in overtime, and had 10 yards to spare.
Wow.
J.K. Scott's busy night continues. This an end-over-end punt. Fair catch signaled for at the 7. So nice punt from J.K. 39 yards. Can the defense do it again? Fourth quarter as the Chargers trying to make something happen late. Santa Monica Pier. Just a glorious afternoon and evening here in Southern California as the sun is setting out on the Pacific Ocean. A lot of fans still in here. Still excited to have football back, our first of 3 preseason games. And despite the struggles of the offense, defense has played very well here this evening. Walker with the option. Oh, and nearly picked off again. Hankins jumped the route, saw it coming, and the third-year player out of Iowa could not secure it.
You know why guys play defense? Because they can't catch. He'd be a wide receiver if he could catch.
Nothing wrong with his eyes. He saw it fast.
Great reaction.
Just couldn't pull it in.
Hit him in both hands.
A flag on the field, guys. This is Jim Harbaugh having a conversation with referee Sean Smith.
An eligible man downfield, offense number 61. Half the distance penalty, first down.
So coach will accept it, wants to back him up inside the 5 instead of taking the 2nd and 10. So ball will be placed at the 3.
It's one of those RPOs, huh?
Yeah, it was almost a RP. No.
Kyrie Robinson now in it back, takes the handoff, goes nowhere. It's official. The Chargers team store in El Segundo is now open, located at 2144 East El Segundo Boulevard. The new brick and mortar store is stocked with the latest limited edition collabs, jerseys, headwear, sideline gear, and more. For more information, visit chargers.com/shop. I know you went there, DJ, the other day.
I got a chance to check it out, get some stuff for the kids there. A great selection.
Did you get a deal?
Well, I wanted a Fouts jersey, but they were out. They said they're selling like hotcakes.
I don't think they stock them either.
Farmer with the rush into the end zone. Walker able to find a man wide open. Left side, missed tackle by Akeem Dent. And all the way out to the 20. Seahawks, despite being pinned deep, pick up 17.
That's a heck of a throw by Walker. And you really love to see that out of your receivers after the catch. Just get us a couple yards. Turn upfield immediately.
And it's Cody White in his 5th season out of Michigan State with the reception. Hand off to Robinson, looking for a crease. And they string him out to the left sideline, led by Gerard Clark.
It's good to see here we are in the fourth quarter. We still have a defense that is really running to the football, showing a lot of effort, a lot of want to, a lot of desire, and they've been on the field for majority of this game. So even though you got an expanded roster, you've got some extra bodies, you look at some of those numbers out there. We've seen like Nick Neiman, he's played a full ball game.
Well, time of possession, 31-47 for Seattle to 18-22 for the Chargers. So that means the defense, as you said, Daniel, on the field.
Shotgun snap. Here comes a blitz. He didn't see it coming. Oh, a knockout blow from Thomas Harper, rookie out of Notre Dame.
That's his second play. He had the big hit on the kickoff to start the third quarter, and here he comes screaming off the edge, unblocked. Walker never saw him or felt him, and he finishes with a beautiful sack.
Had 2 of them last year at Notre Dame. Had 6 tackles for loss, a forced fumble, but goes undrafted.
And again, avoided a penalty on that sack.
Yeah, kept his head out of it.
Yep.
Nice job.
3rd and 17 now for the Seahawks. Down to 3 on the play clock. Walker has time downfield and caught. A nice catch from Eason Winston Jr. in front of Matt Hankins for 21 yards.
That's a veteran throw by Walker. He's in his 5th year. He was with Carolina for 4, and last year with Cleveland, but anticipation's the key there on the deep dig route here. You can see the ball is in the air before the receiver even turns his head around.
And that was Hankins in coverage. And that ball swatted at the line of scrimmage. As Tarheeb Still, their 5th round pick out of Maryland, gets his hand on it.
Jesse Minter's not afraid to bring the nickel.
No, this has been one of the better schemes all night long. It's this slot blitz. A lot of times they're getting their hands on that quick pass.
One of the days out at training camp, we had all those interceptions, so many of them off of tip balls. And in this league, it's gotten so hard to get to the quarterback with the ball coming out so fast. So not just a D lineman, if you're a blitzer from the secondary, if you can't get home, get your hands up in the air.
And that just drives quarterbacks crazy.
Play action. Here comes a blitzer. Walker able to escape Morris Brash, looking downfield and throws wide of his target. Jack Westover, the rookie tight end out of Washington.
It was almost a heck of a play by Walker.
Ball's incomplete, so a 3rd and 10 coming up.
Westover had a great career at the University of Washington. He's going to be a real favorite if he makes the team with the Seahawks.
College free agent for the Seahawks.
Playing for his offensive coordinator.
Right.
Coach Grubb.
Ryan Grubb. I think he was with Kalen DeBoer for a brief second there at Alabama before he came back home. I should say back to the Pacific Northwest. I think he's from Iowa.
Delay a game there.
And delay a game, exactly right. Walker didn't see the play clock, so back him up. It'll be a 3rd and 15.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
One word describes that: inexcusable. There's a clock. There's a clock.
Right in front of you.
Break the huddle. Look at the clock.
And then a 3rd and 17. Let's see if they can get off the field with a 3rd and 15. Seattle has been a menace on 3rd down, though. 10 of 17 here tonight. And they bring the blitz. Walker able to handle it, and he's done it again. This time in front of Zamari Walton. Needed 15, he got 16.
Well, he went with the dig route the last time. He comes with the same route to the other side of the field, steps up and really puts some mustard on this pass.
That's a graduate level throw right there.
Well, Walker in graduate school, a season out of Temple, signed as a free agent this offseason.
That takes trust, and that takes accuracy, and that takes arm strength.
Check, check, check.
Hand off to Lewis here. And Morris Brash falls on his back. He'll pick up a 3, 2nd and 7 as he's just shy of midfield at the Seattle 49.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get to the end of camp if the Seahawks don't get a call on P.J. Walker. He looks like a good 2 out here, and Sam Howell played well. That's an interesting option for teams looking for a 2.
Are you suggesting something?
I'm just putting it out there that he's going to have some interest. That's all. I'm not saying from who,
DJ's
but
just going for a walk.
Yeah, just taking a stroll.
Just taking a stroll. And there's the handoff on the sweep. And Eskridge has got a lane, left sideline all the way to the Charger 30. Gain of 21.
That was George Helani who threw a huge block out there in the perimeter. See him, number 36.
And in fact, he did. He got his shoulder into Akeem Dent. And that is what sprung Eskridge for the 21-yard run.
Boom.
Helani, the rookie undrafted free agent out of Boise State.
That was a depleter.
That's as impressive as a long run, especially for the coaches seeing that type of effort.
And now they reward him with a handoff, and look at that. Lowers the shoulder, gets down to the 25, pick up a 4.
Running hard. Boise State's one of those programs where every kid that comes out of there is tough. It's been that way. Utah is another one.
Well, they play on a blue surface in Boise.
Does that toughen you up, you think? Just the blue, staring at that blue turf every day?
Well, I think what it does is it kills a lot of ducks because they think it's a pond. This is the truth.
2nd and 6 now, up 13-3. Coming up on under 5 minutes left in the game.
That's got to mess your mind up if you're a duck.
It's not as bad as Eastern Washington, whose field is red.
Shot to the end zone, broken up at the last second. Nice play by Hankins. Pass intended for Ty Scott, his first season out of Missouri State. But Hankins there to make the play.
Well, Scott's got a beat, but Hankins doesn't give up on the play and goes right between the 2 hands. That is such great technique to go between the receiver's hands to knock the ball away.
That's teaching tape.
Yes, sir.
Play the hands. When you're beat, no use in looking back. You got to make up some ground, and you're watching, cluing those hands. As soon as they go up, you split them. That was perfect.
Absolutely.
Looks like with 2 on the play clock. Timeout.
Second charge.
Big 3rd and 6 here. 13-3 Seattle. See if the D can get a stop when we return. A bit of a Harbaugh family reunion here to see head coach of the Chargers, Jim, on the left, and his son, Jay, on the right. They were together at Michigan all those years. Jay, special teams coach. And with the Chargers having Ryan Ficken here, one of the best in the NFL, Coach Harbaugh electing to keep him on staff, and his son, Jay, goes with Mike McDonald, who was the defensive coordinator in Michigan for a season. So they're facing off here tonight. Big 3rd down. Can the Chargers force the field goal attempt? Walker, quick out into the flat, and diving to the 20. We do have a flag, though, middle of the field. It looks as though he'll be a yard short.
An eligible man downfield, offense number 68, 5-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
I think that happened, Dan, because he had to pump. If he's able to get that ball out when he wants to, I don't think you have an eligible man downfield, but he had to hold the ball for a count. You'll see it right here. If he can throw it right now, but at that pump, that's what allowed the distance to take place and get yourself a penalty.
3rd and 11. Don't be fooled by the double digits. They've converted a 3rd and 15, a 3rd and 17 on this drive.
You've got, it looks like a split safety look, so you're going to have the middle of the field as an area that P.J. Walker could go at.
Down to 5 on the play clock. And here comes a blitz, and swatted at the line of scrimmage. Ty Shelby gets his mitt on it, and it falls incomplete, and the Seahawks will have to settle for a field goal.
That's what you talked about, Daniel, is the ability of the pass rushers.
Still.
You can't get all the way to the quarterback. Get your hands up. Good athletic move there to get both hands up and thwart that attempt.
And Tarheeb still 29. Not 59 with the block. The second on this drive that he got his hand on.
You can tell it's a teaching point. They have definitely worked on that, and it is really paid off for this defense today.
48-yard field goal attempt here. Jason Myers, who missed an extra point a little bit earlier. And this one right down the middle. So Seahawks on top 16-3. See if we can get a touchdown on the board when we return. Chargers back on offense. Now following the field goal, 16-3, Seattle on top of the Chargers. Now the shake-up in the backfield sponsored by Shakey's Pizza Parlor. Get your game day meal on at Shakey's Pizza Parlor, home of the original pizza, chicken, and mojo since 1954. Chargers shook up their backfield this offseason. Brought in a pair of Ravens, J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards. And you cannot argue with the production. Gus Edwards, one of the most underrated players in the NFL. 26 touchdowns in 69 games. You see the average on the yards per carry there, guys. 4.9 for Edwards, 5.8 for Dobbins, who has just struggled to stay healthy.
And Edwards, a big back at 238. Surprising speed.
Short.
And that was short, so short of the landing zone, the ball automatically goes to the 40.
Free kick short of the landing zone. The ball will be placed at the 40-yard line, first down.
That was a bad miss.
Sure was. And that's just some of the things that they're trying out with this new kickoff rules. The ball has to drop between the 20 and the goal line. If it's short, you can't even return it. It is automatically placed at the 40. And just signed earlier this week, now in the huddle, is Luis Perez. And Perez has really made his rounds in the spring football, on the spring football circuit. Just won the MVP of the UFL and the championship over there. Quick drop, quick throw, nearly intercepted. Almost secured by DJ James. Had it hit him in the hands, drop for an incompletion. Ball was intended for tight end Luke Benson.
Very deliberate. His eyes got on there early, and nowhere really to put that football.
O'Connell all over it. Lucky that wasn't picked off.
Perez from San Diego. Has time, wants a shot downfield, and Jalen Johnson with a grab. What a catch over the shoulder, and that's something we have seen all training camp long. 36 yards.
Well, Perez, the pride of Chula Vista, went to Southwestern College before transferring to Texas A&M Commerce. Did you play against him?
I did not. But he threw for a lot of yards.
Here's Perez, sets his feet, goes to the end zone. Oh, nearly caught again by Johnson. Tried to one-hand it.
But
over the head of Marquise Blair.
Yeah, he gave him a chance, though, and you got to love that. Back-to-back go routes. And this one is on target, too. That's pass interference. My goodness. How do you not call that on 33? Williams, Mike. Well.
I used to see Perez all the time at a gym in San Diego. Worked out with Drew Brees. He has worked out with that gym down there for years.
Working on his bowling stroke?
Yeah. He is a great guy. Unbelievable guy.
So he was a bowler.
False start. Offense number 65. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
So back him up 5. But Perez, yeah, was one of the top amateurs in California when he was at the age of 15. And how does he start playing football? Watching YouTube. Coaching videos on YouTube.
I thought you said he's watching my tube.
Watching old reels of Dan Files.
Yeah.
Exactly. And now here he is. I mentioned the accolades, right? AAF, XFL, USFL, UFL. Just came out of the playoffs. 2-0, 71% completion rate, 6 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Well, you put all those FLs together and you get perseverance.
Right?
Unbelievable. He'll turn 30 in a couple of weeks.
And now rolls out, finds the check down underneath. It's Dotson. Dotson stiff arms at the 22. Clock keeps running under 4 minutes to gain a 7, so it'll bring up a 3rd and 8.
Dotson's got to know, just step out of bounds. You're not going to get to the end zone.
He does not play scared. He knows he's playing with house money here, getting an opportunity. He's been around, as you mentioned, all those different stops along the way. He's going to let it rip.
Bunch formation to his left, and Perez to throw again. Takes a shot toward the end zone. Tip ball intended for Brendan Rice. Incomplete. Put it right on the money, though. Gave his receiver an opportunity. Poked away, though, by D. Williams.
Good job by the safety coming over. But you can call pass interference on Williams again. He's got his hands all over Rice.
They're going to go for it on 4th down. 4th and 8 from the 22. Trailing 16-3. Why not? Perez is your leading passer.
That happened fast.
Sure did.
Well, they're going to come after him here.
Down to 3 on the play clock. 2, 1. Gets the snap off. And they did not. They called the timeout.
He hasn't been here very long to know all the verbiage and the checks and everything that goes along with it.
You know, we talk about Justin Herbert and all the offenses he had to learn. Well, we just heard the roadmap
right
for Perez.
Yeah, exactly. Rules, players,
and not exactly Hall of Fame players.
No.
You know, guys looking to get to this level, working their heart out to try to get to the NFL, and all the different stops along the way. You got to hand it to Mr. Perez.
So many of the concepts and the plays can be the same, but he's probably learned about 10 different languages of the same concept in the same play.
So they will go for it on this 4th and 8.
The advantage of having the plays on your wrist, really very beneficial.
Rice wide of the numbers right. Johnson wide of the numbers left. Gill in the slot. Everybody at the line of scrimmage, and they got a
free
jump.
Play.
Free play.
Oh,
they'll blow it dead. He'll get the 5 back, though, and instead of 4th and 3 will be coming up.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 94.
Yeah.
5-yard penalty.
In the old days, they wouldn't blow the whistle.
Right.
So you would literally have a free play, and you could put it anywhere on the field.
Take your shot.
Absolutely take your shot. You got nothing to lose.
Think about Aaron Rodgers, the best in the business at that. He'd get those guys to jump offside with that hard count. How many touchdowns he's thrown in his career on those plays.
Yeah.
So a 4th and 3 instead of a 4th and 8. Brendan Rice one-on-one on the outside. Safety is shading that way, though. That's where Perez is looking. That's what he wants. Rice, incomplete. Tried to thread it between a pair of defenders. And just out of the reach, so they turn it over on downs. Seattle offense back on the field with 3:16 to go, trailing 16-3. Got excited about the Perez performance, but it ends in a turnover on downs. Tonight's player of the game presented by UCLA Health, keeping you on top of your game. And we're going to go to the defensive side. Held the Seahawks at just 16 points despite being on the field for 37 minutes in this game. Nick Neiman, our leading tackler, with 11 tackles, a sack in there as well, and a couple big plays, Dan.
That's what the Chargers needed, too, coming in, is to get more stops out of the middle of their defense. The edge rushers have been outstanding. The corners have done a good job today, but Neiman has really stood out.
And still out there. Seahawks going to try to run this thing out. Robinson with the carry.
Third and final charge, timeout, Los Angeles. 30 seconds.
Chargers wouldn't mind getting a look at the offense one more time.
I want to see a little more Perez.
Yeah.
I think Coach Harbaugh feels the same way.
Skipped right over Casey Bauman, a rookie out of Augustana. Interesting story quickly about Mike McDonald, 37-year-old head coach of the Seahawks. So we were talking to Joe Ortiz, general manager of the Chargers. Said when he was in Baltimore, got a call from the University of Georgia, a friend of his when he was at Auburn. Said, I got a guy that can be great in your front office. So they interview Mike McDonald. Half the front office says, I think he wants to be a coach. Let's not hire him. Very next year, guy from Georgia says, Mike wants to get into coaching. They bring him back. They hire him as a coach.
Wow.
As they stop the run there, but Joe said he thought he would have been a great scout, great front office guy, and that McDonald wanted the job. He was interested in it. Seems like he chose the right path.
Worked out all right. Worked out all right for him.
Yeah, tell me the difference between on the financial side of coaching and being a scout, Daniel.
We live in different neighborhoods, Dan. We live in different neighborhoods.
Live in different countries. And just a ton of Baltimore, Michigan connections all over this field. Players, coaches, front office. Obviously, it's all through the Harbaugh family. Handoff goes to Robinson, and there's stuff by Robert Kennedy, the rookie out of NC State by way of Old Dominion.
But we have more hotel points than they do. I'll tell you that much.
There you go. Funny thing, those guys don't even know what hotel points are. Where's the 5-star? Book it. Then make it the presidential suite. All right, that's the 2-minute warning. Seattle with a 4th and 4. See if the Chargers get one more possession next. Two minutes to go in the contest, and hey, Luis Perez got us out of our seats on his first drive, and he'll get another shot at it. Chargers out of timeouts, but here at the 2-minute warning, a reminder, if you can't get enough of the Bolts, follow @Chargers, the #1 social media team in the NFL. Get up to the minute news, analysis, exclusive behind-the-scenes access, and some of the most creative content in sports. Simple. Just type in @Chargers to follow along on Twitter /X, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. See him dancing there. Post that on TikTok.
Gotta save your best moves for the regular season, though. Don't dust those off just yet. This is preseason dancing.
Chargers social media feeds regularly win awards every season. Not just the best in the NFL, but best in sports. Jalen Gill back there to return this punt at the 25. And fair catch signal for 33. 44-yard punt, no return, and back out is Luis Perez. Just signed earlier this week, so they pass over Casey Bauman. A lot of that probably a product of Easton Stick having to play the entire first half. His numbers 5 of 13, 31 yards, an interception, and a QB rating of 14.6.
Yeah, wasn't a lot going on offensively in that first half. Just nothing going. Couldn't get the run game going, and
no first down.
Yeah, no, just third down was a brick wall in the first half. But they've started to move the ball here with Perez. It's been fun to watch as we're coming down the home stretch.
So Johnson, Gill, and Cornelius Johnson, your receivers. Spiller in the backfield. Perez checks it down to Spiller, makes the catch. Little shimmy, and he's able to get out of bounds left sideline, just shy of the 40. And there's the rookie, Casey Bauman, out of Augustana.
School of Kenny Anderson, the great quarterback for the Bengals.
Oh, yeah.
But you have to use the word tiny Augustana. That's the way I used to kid Kenny.
Perez, little shovel pass. Spiller picks up the first down. Clock continues to roll. Again, no timeouts for the Bolts.
It's impressive that you can be in a 2-minute situation with as little reps,
right,
as few reps as Perez has had since he's arrived.
And Perez steps up, middle of the field again. Spiller, and he's going to be dropped midfield into plus territory at the 49. 2nd and 4, but now we are coming up on under a minute. And again, Perez just signed earlier this week.
Tell you what, Harbaugh is still engaged on the sideline. He is fully engaged after every snap. You can see him still coaching. And
not discussing whether or not this is intentional grounding, but he's saying he was floating it out to Spiller, who just went a little bit wide there. So Spiller comes to the
Ruling on
sideline.
the field is an incomplete pass, third down.
I think they were considering this a fumble. No, definitely a pass, but
Spiller was just too wide out there, but he sold it. He sold the idea that that was his intended target, even though it was about 8 yards away. So clock stops, 56 seconds on a 3rd and 4.
Harbaugh's hollering from the sideline, wanting to get a point across here. And help his quarterback.
Patterson in at running back now in place of Spiller. Perez got to let it fly and misses the mark. Intended for Gill, incomplete. So a 4th and 4, and of course they'll go for it.
Different skill sets with these quarterbacks, Dan. This is not, you think about the running we saw with the other group. That's not his game. Perez wants to sit back there in the pocket and let it rip.
And 32 games in all of those spring leagues, just a single rushing touchdown. With 44, the passing variety. So let's see, extend it or turnover. And out of reach, just read the route wrong. Intended for Praise Alatoke, the track star out of Ohio State. He broke in, the pass went out, and that's a turnover on downs, and we may get a knee here.
How many times do you think they've thrown the ball to one another since Perez got there? Not often. That's a challenge when you get late in the preseason here.
and he thought they had 5 downs too. He was going back to the huddle.
Maybe one of those leagues did. I don't know. I don't know.
AAF, no. Maybe XFL. So 2 quick knees, and we look forward to next Saturday in the Rams. All the stuff they can clean up.
Same bat time, same bat channel, right?
Exactly right. 4 o'clock here at SoFi. And that's going to do it. That's the final knee. So Seattle behind a first half from Sam Howell. Able to put 16 on the board, and that's plenty. Chargers only able to muster 3 points. But here you go. Former colleagues Mike McDonald, Jim Harbaugh shake hands. Might be looking for his son Jay on that Seattle sideline. There he is. A lot of the same friends and coaches from Michigan and Baltimore that Jim has known through the years. So we'll try to break this thing down, figure out what we saw, what we can get ready for next week in preseason game 2. As far as this one goes, final Seattle 16, Chargers 3. We'll break it down when we come back.